How's it going, guys? Welcome back to another video. So in 2010, the owner of the Brooklyn Nets made a promise to the league that in just 5 years, a 5-year plan, he can bring a championship to Brooklyn. Now, Brooklyn was new to the league, moved from New Jersey down to Brooklyn, and he promised the world that in just 5 years, he can bring a championship here. After the first 3 years, things weren't going so well, but then they signed D. Will to a max deal worth $100 million. Then they took on Joe Johnson's $100 million contract, and then they gave Brook Lopez $60 million. But that wasn't it. July 12, 2013, they made a big trade. They made a trade for Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett from the Boston Celtics. It seems like they gave up their entire team. This included about 4 players and 3 future first-round draft picks. And at the time, it seemed like the Brooklyn Nets stole these great players, these future Hall of Famers, from the Boston Celtics. But little did they know, this trade was set the team back years. So my job right now in this video is to make it so that trade was not terrible. So that trade was not done in vain, that they weren't giving up these many draft picks and these many players for nothing. So let me show you the roster. So we got Deron Williams in his prime, 87 overall, along with Brook Lopez, Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, Andre Blatche, AK-47, Joe Johnson, Jason Terry, Allen Anderson, Reggie Evans, Sean Livingston, and Mason Plumlee, and Mirza Teletovic. So what I did, I went back on NBA 2K14, I set up my Xbox 360, went all the way back to the game, and I copied down the stats. I copied down the attributes for each of these players and incorporated it here in 2K16. But we take a look at the rest of the league, it's just like the normal roster. So it is a 2015-2016 season, but instead of having the Brooklyn Nets that are terrible today, we have this team that really did not work out. They made this trade for Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, gave this big money to all these players, and it just didn't work out, man. They got eliminated in the second round of the playoffs against the Miami Heat. One thing worth noting though is Brook Lopez actually only played like 17 games that season, so that could be one of the reasons why this team wasn't successful in the 2013-2014 season. But my job right here right now is to make sure that they win a championship, and it is a 1-year challenge. So let me show you the rotation. Of course, Deron Williams running the point guard, Joe Johnson, who in 2013 was not his best year. I'll show you guys the numbers here. Average 16.3, which isn't bad, but then again, you know, you got to think about it. He had just moved from Atlanta, so this is a new atmosphere, and he was along some future Hall of Famers, so he had to pass the ball up a little more than he was used to. And then Paul Pierce here, his 1 year in Brooklyn, 28 minutes, average 13.5. This team was supposed to be like a team that kind of countered Miami in the Eastern Conference, and then the Western Conference they had the LA Lakers. So this is one of those teams, kind of like a super team that didn't work out, and I made a video on that LA Lakers team maybe a couple weeks ago, and I kind of want to keep this going where I try a super team, a former super team that didn't work out, and see how good I can make them. So take a look at the rest of the rotation. We got Blatche there, AK-47, Jason Terry, and Allen Anderson. I like this team a lot, but it's not perfect. One thing I do want to do is make some trades, try to strengthen up our bench a little bit. What do we need though? Off the bench, we have some solid offense in Jason Terry. You know, he can light it up one day, but then the next day score like 6. So I'm trying to figure out what we need. I'm going to see what we can do, because again, it's a 1-year challenge, so I got to make the right trade. Take a look at our draft picks. We only have 2 first-rounders because that Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett trade was such a big trade. They gave up so many picks, and it gave up so many players. I got to make something happen. One thing I do want to do is keep this core, though. I want to keep D. Will. I want to keep Brook Lopez, Paul Pierce, and Kevin Garnett. But these rest of these players are up for grabs if we can get the right offer. So let me see what I can get. So when Brook Lopez went out for majority of the season, like I said, he played like 17 games. Blatche really stepped up. What did he average? He averaged 11.25 rebounds. So he had a solid season. If we're talking about Andre Blatche, you know, he never really was too great. I guess this year in Washington, he was like his best season of his career. But he's expendable. And actually, I think we're getting a nice upgrade to Rudy Gobert, a guy that can get more rebounds, play a little more defense. Blatche, not really known for his defensive ability or his rebounding too much. He's kind of like an offensive threat, I guess. But we have Kevin Garnett to do that scoring from the big man position. So I'm packaging in Blatche, that Celtics first rounder that was involved in that Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett trade, and Jason Terry. Now, don't crucify me for trading the Jet. But we're picking up Rodney Hood too, which is crazy because Rodney Hood's like an 80 overall at this point. Let's make that trade happen. Take a look at the rotation now. We really don't have a backup point guard, so I do want to try to package in Allen Anderson in that last first rounder that we have and see if we can get a nice point guard in exchange. Again, a backup, because Darren Williams is our point guard at this point. Like, we're not looking to have somebody better than him. This Smith trade looks solid. We're getting a first rounder in return that we can flip for something else. See what else is on the market here. Ronaldo, not really looking for that one. I just need to get a nice solid point guard, and I'm not getting many offers here, so I'm going to try to figure something out. Maybe Allen Anderson isn't the guy we trade, but we're going to trade somebody. Okay, so this is a trade we figured out. Allen Anderson and Mason Plumlee. Mason Plumlee's 22 years old, because I did set back the ages and everything. I put a lot of time into this, so I set back the ages and the overalls. And that future first rounder for Jeremy Lin and Cody Zeller, which is a great trade for us. Again, upgrading that backup point guard position to a guy that we know that can score the ball a bunch. And I actually want Cody Zeller to be the 10th man on the rotation rather than Jeremy Lin, because that means we'll have 3 centers in the rotation. I don't think I want that too much. Actually, Cody Zeller, he's a pretty high overall. So what can we get for, I'm just, testing the waters a little bit, see what we can get for Cody Zeller and like Sean Livingston. As I said, nobody is really safe besides those top 4 players in the rotation, or top 5 players, I guess, in the rotation. This trade looks very, very solid. Let me think about what we have on our bench. Okay, I'll be back if I figure something out. If not, we'll get to simulating, but let me see what we can deal with. Okay, so I decided to go with this J.R. Smith trade. Cody Zeller, Sean Livingston, and that second rounder for J.R. Smith and Channing Frye. I think that trade is solid for us. And one thing I did want to do before we get into simming is make the rotation 9-man deep or 10-man deep. So our bench is going to look like Jeremy Lin. Then we're going to have, I don't want Joe Johnson coming off the bench. I want him starting over Rodney Hood. So let me fix that. So off our bench, we're going to have Jeremy Lin at the point guard, J.R. Smith at the shooting guard, Rodney Hood at the small forward, or we can flip it either way. AK-47, the Rudy Gobert. And I think that bench squad is enough to hang with pretty much any bench in the league. And then the reserves, we have all power forwards, which isn't terrible right now. Actually, in case of an injury, I probably should sign a guard in there. So let me see. Shane Larkin. Why not? Why not bring Shane back to the team? So now we have another point guard in the rotation. Well, not in the rotation, but in the reserves in case of an injury. So we should be solid. And I'm excited. I think we just put together some nice trades to improve this team a lot. I don't know if anybody can hang with this squad. And I do, again, they want to make Joe Johnson come off the bench. But ISO Joe is too clutch in late game situations. So I want ISO Joe. Two of, like, right here, ISO Joe, then Paul Pierce, 2 of like the clutches. And like, I guess Paul Pierce in playoff history if you think about it, but Joe Johnson just hit a bunch of big shots in the regular season. So let's go into simming some games. We're going to go to the All-Star break, see if we have any All-Stars, see who's averaging what, and we'll be back. So the All-Star break, we're looking really good. 39-15, first in the Eastern Conference by 3 games on the Cleveland Cavaliers. Let me show you that. At home, we are 21-10, away 18-5. So we're winning a bunch of games on the road, which is great. We actually went on a period, I'll show you, where we won like 12 straight games. Like December, we just tore the league up. Like we won every game in December, which is just ridiculous. Then we get to the new year. I think we may have had an injury actually, because we start losing a bunch of games. Rudy Gobert got injured. So 6 to 8 weeks for him, which is, I think that's fine. He'll come back in time for the playoffs, which is cool. Hopefully we don't get any more injuries like that. Player stats, Brook Lopez is leading our team in scoring. D. Will not too far behind. And then we got, okay, here we go. Kevin Garnett is averaging 7.3. But J.R. Smith off the bench is doing pretty good. So that was a nice little pickup for us. Is he shooting efficiently too? Because, that's sometimes the problem with J.R. Smith. And he's shooting about 50% from the field. Yo, that was a crazy trade that we just did. So I'm excited. I'm glad that we did that. Take a look at the player awards. Trying to see if there's any Brooklyn Nets players in there, but I doubt it. No dice. All-Star participants? Somebody go be in the All-Star game for us? And no. Okay. All right, I see they doing us dirty. We got the best record in the league, but then again, they don't want to give us an All-Star. Oh, not in the league. Sorry. We don't have the best record in the league. OKC Thunder. Wow, they are just going crazy. 45-9, and then the Golden State Warriors also have a pretty good record. So, okay, the Western Conference, as we probably all expected, are doing really well for themselves. Top 3 teams in real life. So yeah, that's pretty solid. Then on this side of the ball, Cleveland Cavs 3 games behind us, and then 2 games behind them is the Chicago Bulls. Okay, our Bulls may make the playoffs. So I think that's it. We're not going to do any more trading. I'm really satisfied with what our team is doing right now. Just hoping that Rudy Gobert comes back for the playoffs. So I'm going to continue to simulate, and we'll be back and showing you guys the season awards. At the end of the season, Kevin Durant wins MVP, Rookie of the Year goes to Karl-Anthony Towns, Brandon Knight wins 6th Man, Anthony Davis with Defensive Player of the Year, CJ McCollum of course wins the Most Improved Award, and Billy Donovan ends up winning Coach of the Year. Now take a look at the All-NBA first team. Of course, I'm not expecting to see any Brooklyn Nets players. Let me just make sure though, I'm not saying anything from Brooklyn, which is cool. I mean, they ain't got to respect us until the last game of the season. We did finish with the best record in the Eastern Conference. Let me show you guys the standings. We kept that 3-game lead over the Cleveland Cavs. So I'm excited. Ended on a 6-game win streak. So, I mean, we're doing good things. I don't think we have any injuries. Yeah, everybody's healthy, which is, again, is a great thing. I do want to keep my 10-man rotation going into the playoffs. We got a bunch of players on fire, so I'm excited to see how this team does against the Pacers in the first round. See if they made any changes. They got the same team. George Hill is somewhat injured, but he's going to play through it. I think this should be a good series, but I think we're going to pull out. Oh, game 1, we lose by 10 points. That kind of sucks. They had a bunch of players step up for them. Game 2, we lose. Whoa, what is going? Yo, we can't lose in the first round of the playoffs. We can't lose in the first round of the playoffs. What is going on? Yo, did somebody get Rudy Gobert got injured again? Is that the reason we're losing? Did he get injured in the first game? He's played all 3 games, but yo, this is crazy. We cannot get eliminated in the very first round. So let me see. We're gonna simcast from here on out, and hopefully we can get back from this 0-3. We win a game, okay, simulate to the next game. We're going right into it, man. We're not stopping, and hopefully I can, make this thing happen. I definitely was expecting us to get eliminated in the first round, but we take game 2. Game 3, I'm scared, man. I'm scared at this point. One mishaps can cost us the series, but game 3 or the 3rd win for us, really significant. So it's tied 3-3 going into game 7. All right, man, here we go. Rudy Gobert is back, though. He's back from his injury. Whatever it was temporary. And let's see. Game 7 is always, it's always stressful, but we do have home court advantage. It is a close one. Okay, it looks like we're going to pull away. Oh, it's only a 6-point game. Anything can happen. 6 points is not a lot. And 3 minutes left, that's more than enough time for them to catch up. But they don't. We come back from down 0-3. Wow, that's crazy. Us getting down 0-3 in the first place is crazy. But us winning is even crazier. So in the second round, we're going against the Toronto Raptors. Now, if we couldn't close, if we gave up 3 straight games to the Pacers, what are we going to do to the Toronto Raptors, who, are a lot better? I mean, not sure. But we're going to have to go into it and see. Game 1, we win. Okay, we're going to keep this win streak alive. Let's go. 6 straight games, 7 straight games. Oh, there we go. We never complete the sweep. But we can get out of this second round, and we do, going into the Eastern Conference Finals against the Chicago Bulls. Yo, why couldn't this happen in real life from our Bulls? They had to make some type of trades, man. Yep. Where is Jimmy Butler? He's injured. Whoa. Jimmy Butler's out for his career. A career-ending injury. Honestly, man, I played so much 2K. 2K has been my most played game by far. And I have never seen, I gotta take a picture of this and put this on Twitter, yo. This is crazy. It says Jimmy Butler is out for his career. Yeah, I just snapped a picture. I've never seen that happen. I am speechless at this point. That's just crazy. Did this just happen? Did this happen in the playoffs? It didn't. It happened during the regular season. The fact that they got past the Cavs with this roster is crazy. Jared Dudley and Marcin Gortat. I don't know how, but they did it. I've never seen that happen. Wow. Let's go into simulated, man. Game 1 is a win from us. I'm guessing we're going to beat them pretty easily, but I mean, they got here for a reason. It's not like they're going to be a pushover, I guess. But we get to the championship against the Golden State Warriors. I'm still at a loss for words. Jimmy Buckets, one of my favorite players in the NBA, out for his career? crazy things there. But we're going into the championship against the Golden State Warriors. They're trying to complete the repeat. Take a look at their roster. Of course, everything's the same. If it's not broke, don't fix it. They picked up Jared Jack out of free agency, but he's out for the season, so we don't have to worry about him. Let's go into it, man. Game 1 is a win for us. Game 2 is a loss for us. Game 3 is a loss too. Steph Curry put up 40 and Klay Thompson put up 35. What the heck? This is crazy. We just lost another one by 2 points. Steph Curry, yo, they gotta stop Steph, man. What is he averaging in the playoffs? Because I mean, he just put up 40, so I mean, he's got to be he's averaging 32, and then Klay's averaging 30. No good for us, man. We got to make a stop. Actually, let's try to make it so we can like be smothering Klay Thompson and Steph Curry. We can't let them get any buckets, man. Okay, we put it on smother for both of those players. Simcast it. Go over to where is that at? They got Bogut out too. Okay, let's just go simcast it and hope that we can pull out with a victory. They're at home, which is not great. You know, the Oracle's one of the loudest places in the world, but it looks like we're gonna pull away with a victory. So we're not dead just yet. Take a look at the calendar. We're down 3-2 at this point. Simcast again. Let's see if this is now. We're at home. So we're at the Barclays Center, and goddamn. Okay, so this looks like we're not gonna win the championship. The Golden State Warriors do it again with the repeat. They did have a better team than us, I must say. And Steph Curry averaged 35 in the finals. You just can't give up that many points to anybody on every single game. And there it is at the end of his season, end of his career. 5-year pro Jimmy Butler out for his career. Hopefully you did enjoy the video, even though we did not win the championship. I think we put together a nice solid team. We just weren't a matchup for Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. This has been the King of the Fourth Quarter. Thank you so much for watching. I'm out.